So Balaam and Balak, weren't those working against the children of Israel when Moses was coming up? And there was a blending of Jews and Gentiles, which then numbers had to be carried out, this mass genocide of the Midianites or Moabites. It kind of switches up in the chapter there. And who is the one really promoting Jews and Gentiles? No differentiation, you know. There's no difference between Jew nor Gentile, man nor woman, Greek nor barbarian. These are the words of Paul, and undisputed Paul. This is when he works undisputed Paul, but it's then he wrote the Apocalypse. We don't read the Apocalypse in church, mind you, or in our liturgy. I mean, sorry, in the liturgy. We because we should, you know, who wrote this. So going on, it's where I ended at 2:16. So 2:16. Therefore repent, or else I am coming to you quickly, and I will make war against them with the sword of my mouth. Again, this all harkens back to Joshua clearing the land of Israel. This is all the imagery of that. Paul never used that imagery, neither did John. 17. He who has an ear to hear, let him hear what the Spirit says to the churches. To whoever overcomes, again, this overcoming bit, this persevering, this is very Maccabean, Gideon, Joshua type of talk, isn't it? To him I will give the hidden manna, the tree of life, the hidden manna. I will give him a white stone and a new name, and the stone on which no one knows but he who receives it. God writing on a stone, manna, tree of life. But let's go on to where it might be anti-Paul. Alright, at Thyatira, an angel of the church of Thyatira, right? You know, Son of God, whose eyes was like a flame, his feet was like burnished bronze. It says this. Oh, many people just say, oh, this is where it says Jesus is black, even though it goes on to say, like bronze in a furnace, which if you look at, if you've ever seen bronze in a furnace, it's white, and it says hair like sheep, and you say, oh, see, that's like wool, but it says white like wool. And then, of course, the other side, the Anglo-Israelis say, oh, it means he's white. Don't you just think this is a description of this amazing, like, shocking looking dude? I mean, if somebody's skin is glowing, that doesn't look human at all. White, again, white hair, Ancient of Days, Daniel, but I digress. I know your deeds and your love and faith and service, again, should be faithfulness, and perseverance, steadfastness, faithfulness. Jews love these qualities, don't they? These characteristics. And that your deeds of late are greater than at first. Let me see if there's variance in that. When I mean variance, I mean different ways to translate that. Steadfastness, last deeds, the first deeds. Deeds. Works. Deeds and works, it's the same word. But I have this against you. You tolerate the woman Jezebel, who calls herself a prophetess. She teaches and leads my bondservants astray, and commits acts of immorality and eats things sacrificed to idols. Again, Paul had many women in his churches. One of them he called an apostle, and there were prophetesses. There were female prophets among Paul and in his churches, and females were very active in his ministry. I gave her time to repent, and she does not want to repent for her immorality. Behold, I will throw her out of a bed of sickness, and to those who commit adultery with her into the great tribulation, unless they repent of her deeds. Now, adultery here, there's no Bible scholar that says it means sex. And Jezebel, that's obviously not her name. That's a slander, like saying Benedict Arnold. And the adultery with her is what? It's taking these views that taking this teaching that this false apostle, that this fake apostle who is no apostle at all, it's what he just said before in the same chapter, and she won't leave this corruption, and she's basically projecting this on the other churches. And so women leaders, the sin of Balaam and Balak, this person keeps emphasizing deeds, works. And those who commit adultery with her. I mean, kind of like blending, saying, yeah, we need the law, but we're the true Israel, but you don't need the law anymore. At least not Mosaic law, or at least not these traditional things over here. And we have the traditions of the apostles and the new covenant. We don't need this. Doesn't it sound like this is the same area Paul traveled in and constantly wrote to? Let me just jump so I don't have to make this in three-part. Message to Philadelphia. This is in 3:9. Behold, I will cause those of the synagogue of Satan who say they are Jews but are not. Again, Christians weren't calling themselves Christians. They thought of themselves as a continuation of Israel. I will make them come and bow down at your feet and make them know that I loved you. Isn't that how the Jews of this time saw that the Gentiles were going to do? They were going to bow down to the Jews. Actually, in Obadiah it says that the saints, the righteous Jews, the pious Jews, will be the judges of the earth. Will judge the earth, not necessarily God. Synagogue of Satan. We read this thing. We say, "Oh, those are the Judaizers." But if you were a Judaizer back then, you might be saying these exact same things. There's the Laodicea. If you're lukewarm, we're not hot nor cold, but lukewarm. It can seem like Paul's always trying to split the difference. I am all things to all men, and he goes off on these wild, zealous tangents, and he cools himself down. And says, oh well, this and that, and he's trying to be very amicable and trying to be very workable with the people's culture. Now, we think that's good, but for a hardline Jew who's a follower of Jesus, no. So is the Apocalypse of John anti-Pauline? No, I would say at the end of the day, no. It's just speculation, and I thought I was the first and only one to speculate this, to basically mentally masturbate on this. But there's a lot of top scholars who say no. It is, well, I don't know if they're that audacious to say that, but they do mention this. All right, peace to you, Megads of Serbia, Syria, and Ireland. Peace for the Copts and the Syriacs and my family at this time. This is the 3rd of July, 4th of July, and today, these are the worst days. Well, they were the worst days of my life a year ago. But it seems like I relived them. And yesterday, I didn't seem like 4th of July's always been my favorite holiday. It didn't seem like the 4th of July yesterday for me.